Hello everybody, Strategic Sage back with more AI War 2 Necromancer and Company 9 Zul Factions gameplay. We are awaiting our CPA, first one, back in our home system. I returned everybody to be able to possibly deal with that. But we have also accomplished some other items. I do want to note there was a patch that just came out that improved the threat counters. This is much more accurate than it was. 109 is not a concern for the amount of force we currently have, so we're fine at the moment. If we take a look at what happened up here then, we did get rid of the castle in Escudo, we got rid of the castle in Vixie, and we knocked out this distribution node. But I wanted to note the proliferation we're seeing of the Templar structures. And as they send waves at us, picking up new ships at each one they pass by. So, for example, if they came from somewhere up in this direction, they could get some from this fastness and this castle. Then there was a castle here, they would get some from there. And if there was a fastness here like there was before we knocked it out, they'd get some from there. Point being, they keep picking things up. I've seen players with games a few hours in who are just getting used to it. I'm not mocking them, but they just have wall-to-wall castles on one side of the galaxy they're ignoring. And at a certain point, the Templar is just going to steamroll you with their waves if you let that happen. So you can't turtle up. But we're doing pretty well at knocking those out, I think. And I'm not too concerned about the present situation. Now, down here, I'm going to rename my fleets now that we're starting to build up, so I can properly remember which is which. Because I'm putting all the amplifiers on my main fleet, but the other one's still going to become somewhat similar in terms of Necropolises boosting it. We now have 2 Necropolises on our secondary fleet. The major one, and then also the one in Shamir, has been assigned to it. You can see that right here. That's on secondary. All the other ones, such as, for example, Korai, assigned to our primary fleet. And we got the white amplifier here, but we still have some more resources to use. I'm going to do some more hacking, but at the moment, I'm also going to do some tech unlocks. And I think I've gone as far as I want to necessarily with these, at least for quite a while. The skeletons use Strikecraft scaling, and usually about Mark IV is best for that. Moving them up further would still improve them, but I want to focus in on bringing the whites up at this point. So we're going to grab you, and that brings you up to Mark IV. I may even want to get another one here. I think I will do the base skeleton up one more. So that should really help out what we have. And let's see what happens with this CPA. Well, that's a whole lot of nothing, really. 95 strength heading at us. We can largely just basically ignore that. I think with our sappers and our other defenses, certainly we should be able to return anytime that might hit a planet that concerns us. So I'm going to load everybody up. And we're going to go out on some adventures. Now, the first thing I want to do is this has triggered 2 Brutal Guardians, and that's enough for our demonstration purposes. We are going to knock that out and make it disappear. So I'm just going to, for a while now, as long as I can get away with it, just bring both my fleets with me at a time. And I also think, by the way, since I'm doing this, yeah, I'd like to give you 1 additional level. And then we'll get you at a cloaker as well, just because. I'll probably eventually want to get that secondary fleet to transform, but oh, yep, it's gonna paralyze it. That's fine. You will come along with us a little bit later. There we go. Now it's on its way. But knocking out this Brutal Guardian is not going to take a significant amount of force in any case.
Time for a little target practice. Hold still.
You can see, 24 attack against 126 strength. We are not concerned about that. Okay, so now you're going to hit this. And we are going to get simply 5 hacking, and we're going to eat a bunch of AI progress. I wanted to wait until after the first CPA just to see where we were on CPAs and make sure we didn't boost the AI progress too much at that point. But I think like the Custodians and the nanocost are a bigger concern to us now than AI progress. So boosting it to a certain level is just something I'm not going to care about. Let's go ahead and... clear out all of you. Okay. And then our next target. We can do a couple different things. Oh, hold on. See these guys? These are super valuable. The Constructors. 1,000 Science, 25 Hacking. I was going to go a different direction. I was potentially going to hack this rift. Maybe come in over here. I think there's been a lot of combat between the two types of Guardians around Hennessy. So if we can push this way, that's going to help us. But Constructors, valuable for stopping Templar expansion, and also, obviously, the 1,000 Science and 25 Hacking is nothing to be sneezed at. So when we see those, we really want to prioritize them. We are going to come in here and camp out right on that wormhole.
AI fleet inbound on critical planet.
Okay, that might be something we want to hang around for there, particularly with a CPA coming in. But we can always come back and help that. I am still going to focus in on trying to... because those Constructors, the thing about them is, they don't have really a lot of great places they can run from here. Like, if they could go around this way, we'd catch them. If they go this way and come back out this way, well, we would spot them over here. So we're really in a good position to corral them and get both of them, and I definitely want to do that. And wait for the other fleet to show up. Here they are. Okay. Put everybody on attack move and hop in and see what goes on.
Major enemy incursion into our territory.
And what do we have here? We've got 2 Constructors. We have a nice advantage, is what we have. Let's make sure that everybody makes all these turrets go away. We've got a journal about an Elderling going a little bit crazy. Okay. We have seen a bit of that before. And then also, we have the Sapphire Custodians. So they are the ones that are going to join Faction Team Blue. Sapphire being the allies of the Nanocost then. And let's go ahead. Whoops, I want both of you. Excuse me. There we go. Want to make sure everybody is on pursuit, going around and clearing out this entire situation. And another castle is about to meet its doom, thanks to us. You can see the combined power of our fleets now at pushing 300. So we are not exactly having problems clearing out the chaff. And here comes another Templar wave, which we don't care about. And they came into Arafune, and they are being given a piece of our mind. So we have not had problems there. So what should we use this technology on, I wonder? I think for now, I'm actually going to save it. Just because I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet. Alright. Everybody loads. So that was fun. And we really appear to be doing very well against their attack, so the CPA troops are still out there. We're going to wait and see what they do. But, if we can, I want to try to break in here. There's another egg coming out this way. And hey, there's even another constructor down there that we could try to go hunt. So lots of reasons to come in this direction. But we have this rift here. We should probably go hack something there first. And, alright. There is a data center here. Let's go that way instead. Mark 5 planet Urgati, so could be considerable resistance. Another castle. Okay, we've got a fortress, which is not quite able to reach us. This will have to come over close to us to hurt us. Okay, I think we can handle this. We're just going to be a little bit cautious. Definitely going to watch my flagship survivability here. And we have friends coming in. Yeah, we outnumber them almost 2-to-1 now, particularly with all of our 9 Zul assistants. Let's hit this real quick, make sure it goes down. And one of our flagships is having issues. So you only are going to stay off Rome if instructed, and you pop back into Haru. Let's just make sure that you're fine. Everybody else goes on pursuit and smashes the planet. And then we take out the fortress. Gradually. We take out that, get a mummy. And now we just go play. I think I've decided what I want to do with my science. I'm going to boost up Possessed Whites, just get them up to that Mark IV level as well, and probably go into mummies next as we continue to broaden and strengthen our fleet. And then we have an interesting situation developing down here that's pretty instructive. We have a convention of Elderlings, and we have the Mark IV Cyclopean, Mark V Slothful. We've seen these before. But the new tier, more advanced, powerful Elderlings are beginning to emerge. We now have Envious and Decadent. And they are obviously much stronger. Even though these are lower mark, they're much stronger than these higher mark, lower tier Elderlings. But also, we'll get more powerful transformations from them. So, the risk-reward situation definitely continues there. And then, here in Selin, we are going to want to get this hack done for the Rift. So I don't like trading hacking and AIP for Essence. I can just get Essence from Elderlings. I'll wait for that. But the Skeleton Rogue Bodyguard, interesting one to consider. Boosting our bodyguard levels, just like we did with the White Bodyguards, without having to increase our hexes or anything. So that's a strong contender. The Bone Dragons, they're a very advanced item. Notice you have to have a Mark V Necropolis. We don't have any above 2. That's going to wait for another time. The Skeleton Mages, probably the biggest contender along with the Rogue Bodyguards. Mages are a more advanced skeleton variant, and we're using archers, which are probably the weakest of the skeleton variants. So we could go for mages and refund some of that science and focus those hexes and resources on the mages instead of archers. That would be a good move. But I don't think we're quite there yet, because you have to use Mark II Necropolises. Some of ours are Mark I. We don't have a bunch of essence to pour into this yet. So I feel like that's something that's out there, but a little bit further than we're actually ready for in the game right now. And then Incursions, I like having utility ships at a certain point to bolster the fleet, and if we have a bad battle, it gives you more ships you can build directly, and you don't sink down quite as low. So they are good to have, I think, to round things out, but I'm going to go with a rogue bodyguard in this particular case. And of course, we also don't have spare hexes to use for the incurios just yet. So with that in mind, we're going to wait for that hack to complete. Then we're going to go after those Elderlings, as they are in our way.
Hacking is finished.
And response wave coming, but I think we'll be able to handle that. Yep, they just jumped in. And they have company. Okay. It was nice of one of you to come in here and volunteer yourself to be shot. Are you running away? You're running away in system, but you're not running away through the wormhole. Okay. Oh, you actually were laying an egg. You just barely laid the egg before we hit you. That was perfect. Couldn't plan that better if I tried. So, now we're going to hop ourselves into dunkles and see what's there. Okay, the diamond custodians are running. We've got a decadent elderling here, envious here. I think I'm going to let you run, and we're going to go after the envious. Doesn't look like there's going to be anybody else of significance. Now, if we go to the hacking part, all of the Elderlings are listed here. They just give you duplicate hacking entries so that you know which one is which. So this transform is against the envious, but if we click this transform, it'd be the decadent. Also, it costs a little bit more. It was 10 hacking to hack the lower tier Elderlings. These cost 15. We are definitely going to take this one and make sure that we're on the envious. We are.
Hacking initiated.
And then, yeah, this is a 70 strength Elderling almost. 65. Fun. Lots of tractor beams, causing all sorts of carnage, but the combined force of our fleets is going to get it. Okay. And sure, we'll smack. We actually don't have a Slothful transform yet. Why not?
Our hackers have started.
It was almost dead anyway. Perfect time to hit it. Okay. So that uses a bunch of our hacking, but if we look at our possible transforms, of course we can't do them in here. But we now have an envious and a slothful. And the slothful, being the lower tier, it's also a Mark III, but the envious now requires a Mark IV. So up the scale we go. I'm going to leave all of this as is, and we're going to try to poke our head into Hennessy. We're just going to see how bad that is, and if we can push out further. And oh yes, they have migrants coming in. The Templar Constructor is in there. This is just a perfect time. More eggs being hatched. All kinds of joy happening for us. So let's see if we can do this and manage to not embarrass ourselves. Because I do think there is significant resistance in there, and I'm not seeing any of our own guardians around, or own custodians around. I keep saying guardians instead of custodians for some reason. Let's everybody get down here. And okay, we have an envious that has arrived. We've already dealt with an envious, so let's just smack you. For some reason, you're not... There we go. I thought I had told it to unload. Now we got you. Okay, back down to the wormhole. Okay. I want to make sure I get my whites over here reasonably close before we plunge in. Then I'll make sure you stay out for a minute.
Enemy launching major offensive.
And then hop in. Yeah, okay. It's pretty... There's some resistance in here. Let's hit... I'm not going to bother doing a transform when we're attacking a hard system. Let's just hit you. We appear to have the advantage, so if the Custodians don't come in force, we should be okay here. There's the Constructor, which is slowly moving away from us towards that system. Let's see if we can gradually move across. And blast our way through this pile of nonsense. And you are a slothful who... Yeah, we can just kill you as we go across. We have no other use for that. Let's get that sabot. General, I'm not a fan of those. I don't know if we're going to get the Constructor in time, but... Let's keep moving. We've probably cleared enough. Let's go for it. You can see that these are reasonably strong. Early in the game, they can be a threat. At this point, they're not. And another Constructor has fallen to our forces. Everybody go pursuit. Okay. And what do we have here? A Wrathful. We can just kill you. That's fine. And you are getting hit a little too much. So... let's just make sure that stops happening. We are going to move you only back here. Everybody else stays doing what you're doing. And migrants are going to be coming back to dunkles. So that's just sort of an ancillary benefit here. What do you have to say? You're Wrathful having jumped back in. More Templar. And then our Custodians hopping in. Okay, so I think that we have reached a good point here. And basically, I'm probably going to keep pushing out this direction. Just grab that while I'm here. And seeing if we can get through this infestation further. Or if there are any particularly painful Custodian areas. And then going forward, I think we need a couple more planets so we can explore the rest of the galaxy, but we're headed in the right direction. Defenses seem to be holding fine without me having to run back my fleets, but the elephant in the room is still out there. The Nanocosts are still floating out somewhere in the galaxy, and we don't know how strong they are, so discovering them sooner rather than later would probably be good for us. The adventure will continue. Thanks everybody for watching.